We're just two guys with one mission, and we've chosen to accept it for some reason. It's time to tell them what we mean, what we say.
Rewind. Lisa.
Well, so
Hello
hi.
there.
Hello there.
We just watched the Gestapo's last orgy.
Yes, we did.
It's about the Nazis.
Yeah.
It's a love story.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's about a woman
no.
learning to love life.
Yeah, no, let me change that back. It's a story.
Yes. It's a story
It's a film.
of a woman learning to love life and get revenge.
And get revenge. So, once again, we're back in Nazi exploitation. I'll start again.
Very much so. I think this would be the absolute definition of a Nazi exploitation.
Well, this is basically like a Salo rip-off.
Yeah.
So it's heavy on the kind of more degrading and humiliating aspects of
What Nazis did to women.
of what Nazis did to women. It's not as extreme as
No.
Salo,
No.
but I don't really know how to
I don't know, because it's not that kind of shock and awe type exploitation. It's more kind of...
Oh, do you think we're just massively desensitized?
Well, I think there's a slight element of that. I think if you showed this to a normal person, they'd just go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Whereas we're not like that. But at the same time, any scholar of kind of Nazi history would also, I don't think, be too shocked with what happens. It's shocking. Bits of it are shocking in the way that it's portrayed. But what happened is just like, well, yeah, like, I know that happened.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's
fucked
shocking
up
to
movie.
see it, but it's not shocking to... There was no revelations in this of just like, oh, right, they did that. Oh, no way. There was none of that.
Well,
I was aware that these kind of atrocities happened, personally, but then I'm a bit of a World War II buff.
yeah. It's kind of hard to describe.
And it's super gross.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
And it is, it's
But
it's upsetting.
But at the same time, like, it wasn't...
It wasn't gratuitous.
It wasn't, like, really extreme, like...
Ilsa.
I mean,
Ilsa was, like, gratuitous.
like Ilsa or Salo. I think Salo, out of all of them, is probably the most... But when it started, it definitely thought, oh, God, if this is what they're starting with...
right, yeah.
Then, oh, my... How much worse is it going to get?
I expected this to be much, much worse.
Yeah, but actually, it's just...
It eventually kind of plateaus out into this kind of human story.
Yeah.
Of this woman coming to terms with what's happened in the past, what's happening in the present, and how she
is resolving
progresses
this
to her future.
Yeah. What we're saying is that despite being a sleazy Nazi exploitation piece of trash, it's surprisingly... It has some depth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's surprisingly emotional.
Yeah. We didn't really talk through this one like we have done previously, where we just gone, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah,
we kind of watched
very
it.
few jokes. But there's not a lot to joke about.
No, but
it's played very seriously, very straight.
I mean, there's one specific thing that we laughed about where Lisa, the main character, is being hung naked upside down above what the Nazis are claiming are rats.
Yeah.
But they're clearly mice or
Hamsters.
gerbils or hamsters.
Hamsters or gerbils.
And I quite like little rodents. Like, I think they've got fun faces.
Yeah, they're kind of cute.
And I like that they squeak. I'm basically into their vibe. If I see one, I don't jump on a chair and go, oh my God. I go, look at that guy. Hasn't he got a funny face?
Yeah. Look at that cute little fella running around.
Yeah, because he does have a funny face.
What's his life like? What's going on in his world?
Fast, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon he lives fast.
Well, their heartbeats are like...
Yeah, they live fast, die, GG. Okay, so, story time.
Yeah. So a bunch of lasses are taken to the...
Well, that's not totally true.
Okay, no, it doesn't start like that. You're right.
It starts
Sorry.
off where this man and woman, who we're not really introduced to straight away, meet, and they seem to be old lovers who haven't seen each other in a while.
Well, he's an old lover, she's a young lover. He's a lot older than she is.
What?
He's a lot older than she is.
Like they're lovers from old.
I know.
Not that one's old and one's young.
I know.
Then why did you say it? It makes you sound so stupid.
out of you. Which clearly worked.
Oh, what the hell? Well, I just
Play on words, Tony.
it's a play on words.
Anyway, so they meet up.
No,
at some sort of derelict.
I assumed it was the camp.
Well, I assumed it was, given what I'd already read. But it's basically a derelict old prison camp.
Yeah, they meet up. He shows a lot of affection for her. He thanks her for being kind at his trial so he didn't get executed.
Yeah.
Because it turns out he's a Nazi and she was one of the Jewish prisoners.
Yes.
And then we flash back.
Yeah, to fully functioning camp.
Fully functioning camp, and how do I put this? A bunch of naked boys are brought into a gymnasium, shown a slideshow of a female prisoner who's obsessed with eating shit.
Poop. And smearing it on herself and masturbating
Yes.
and such like.
And then...
Basically as a way of showing that these...
Yeah, it's
what are portrayed as the fine Nazi soldiers.
Yeah. Look at the degeneracy of these animals compared to how proud you wonderful Nazis are.
Yeah.
And then he says...
You can do what
"Look,
you like to them. Here's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Be as sadistic as possible."
Yeah.
It's an odd scene. I wouldn't necessarily say it was...
It's not particularly graphic.
No.
It's certainly not sexy.
No, it's definitely not sexy. And then we're introduced to the new girls of the concentration camp.
Yeah, 3 of them in particular. There's Lisa,
Yeah.
our main protagonist. The virgin girl, who I'm not sure we ever learn her name.
I don't remember her name.
And one other girl an older girl who's, I guess, has been at the camp for a while.
Yeah, she's been as
So she's kind of teaching the new ones the ropes a little bit.
Lisa is... no, it wasn't. Lisa and some other girls are taken to a lavish dinner by the Nazis where one Nazi espouses some Nazi theories about what to do with the Jewish people they've captured.
Yeah. Starts off saying, like, we can make them till the fields and do all the hard work and stuff like that, which, okay. And then
it turns into...
kind of goes off the rails a little bit.
We're going to eat their unborn children.
And we're going to eat them. Yeah.
And then they make a stew of... they serve up, like, braised or stewed...
something.
Infant baby, like unborn infants.
I think that's...
And then they like it so much they decide to get one of the girls who passes out because it's so disgusting, which it is.
Yeah.
And then set her on fire.
Yeah.
And then have a little orgy and get drunk.
Yes.
And then while they get drunk, Hans, I think his name was, right?
Yes. Conrad.
Hermes Conrad. Hans notices Lisa for the first time and kind of becomes obsessed with her resolve because she's not crying, she's not shivering, she doesn't seem to show any ounce of fear, and decides that he's going to make it his personal mission to try and break her spirit.
Yes.
Because
she's not scared of death, so he wants to make her
love life enough
so
he can take it
of death,
yeah,
so that he can take it away from her.
Yeah, it's like
psychology 101. That's how they work in the army, isn't it? Break you down and build you back up again.
Yeah, but this is like break you down,
build you back up, then kill you,
and then murder you. Just like the army, I guess.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So she goes through some trials, but there's also a very sadistic Nazi lady who is very jealous of Lisa.
Yeah.
When Lisa gets tortured to the point of going into some sort of catatonic state, she makes friends with a Nazi doctor who's the doctor of the concentration camp. And then they build a kind of more loving relationship. And this is also when Lisa, who's previously her desire to die comes from her own guilt that she murdered her.
Well, that she got her
parents killed
by tipping the Gestapo off to them.
Yes, and then the doctor says, "No, that's not true." Mm-hmm. Then they have a bit of a tumble. Yeah, the doctor finds out that actually a literal tumble. A priest had actually dobbed them into the Gestapo 2 months earlier. Then they have a literal tumble.
Little tumble.
Literal.
Literal tumble.
They literally just roll around.
Yeah, for way too long.
Yeah.
To the strains of Lisa.
Yeah, for the theme from Gestapo's Last Orgy. Lisa, having got her zest for life back,
Yeah.
it turns out that Hans decides that he's in love with her.
Yes.
And then...
Because he thinks he's done what he was supposed to do.
And opts not to kill her.
No. Which his resolve is then strengthened by the fact that the virgin girl comes and tries to ask her for help.
Yes. And Lisa says...
He's just like,
no.
Nah, laters, mate. Jog on.
Jog on.
Jog right on.
She doesn't say that. That wouldn't be,
That'd be
a
awesome.
cinematic if she went, jog on.
Fucking jog on, mate. So Hans loves her even more. But then the jealous, sexy
Nazi lady officer.
she comes back.
She comes back, very jealous, says, hey, it's time for you to fulfill your promise and kill Lisa. And he goes and he laughs about it. They have a bit of a roll around on the floor.
Not much.
Lisa walks in. Hans strangles the Nazi lady.
Yeah.
And then Lisa says, I'm pregnant. They cuts to the delivery of the baby.
Yeah.
The baby gets immediately taken away for being half German, half Jewish.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the present day where Lisa and Hans are making love against a wall in the old concentration camp. And then Lisa pulls a gun on Hans and then shoots him in the head.
In the head?
Yeah.
I thought she was shooting him.
No, because when he dragged him away, there was blood by his head.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that bit. I thought the position they were in, I thought she was shooting him in the side.
Now, in the version we saw, there was a clear extended cut where it seems like probably it was supposed to be implied that they both died and then the credits roll, but that's not what happened. It's like all of a sudden it changed to second generation VHS copy where basically Lisa walks out walks away from that situation unscathed.
And has been helped by a weirdly smirking man that you do see briefly at the start when Hans is driving up to
it was a bit confusing, but I didn't really mind it so much. Like, it's just...
No, not so much. And then the irony is the pull-out shot of the very last shot is it pulling out and the smoke from, I'm guessing, Hans's body coming up through the chimney of the concentration camp. Haha, you got yours, just like what you did to all them people.
Yes.
You scumbag Nazi bastard.
It's a pretty depressing movie.
Definitely. But it's not...
It wasn't totally unwatchable.
No.
Like, it's,
No, that's the thing. Because of the more kind of human interest side of it, it actually makes it way more watchable than something like Salo or...
Yeah,
Ilsa or something like that, which is just relentlessly just fucking bleak.
I was really, really expecting it to be way too much.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, that starting scene with the bunch of guys and the bunch of girls, just like, it's going to be one of these. And it wasn't one of those. It wasn't your typical Nazi exploitation thing.
No, it had some depth.
Yeah.
It had some depth to it, and it was...
which was surprising and nice.
Yeah, because some of these some of these movies, like there's been zero...
Yeah, and some of the acting's pretty good. It wasn't terrible. I mean, again, it's heavily dubbed, so...
Yeah, so we don't really know what the original... It would be curious to see it in Italian, I guess, with subtitles.
Yeah, but we get what we're given.
Yeah.
And this is what we got.
Should we score it out?
Yeah.
What would you give it for story, Steve?
I thought it was good. I think I'm going to go 3. It wasn't particularly complicated, but I liked the twists and turns along the way. And again, it did have kind of depth to it.
I think I'm going to give it also a 3 on the basis that it turned out to be just, like you said, it's like a little bit more than it originally appeared to be.
Yeah.
It could have just been like sleazy torture for an hour and a half.
Which is what I was expecting.
Yeah, but they didn't. They tried to have a story that develops and characters that develop. Mm-hmm. And I think this might be the first time we've seen where Lisa has an arc. Yeah. Has a story arc.
Very much so, yeah.
And I appreciate that, like that actually some effort went into this kind of thing. But at the same time, it is a sleazy bit of trash, and it's...
But as sleazy bits of trash go.
It's also kind of predictable because these movies have... Yeah.
We figured that out within the first 5 minutes. Well, I figured it out the first time they met.
Yeah.
Because of the little blurb that I read on IMDb.
Yeah. But you don't watch it for the... You watch it for the mood, not necessarily the story, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But the story was okay.
Yeah.
So down the middle.
Yeah, I mean, watching a film called Gestapo's Last Orgy.
Yeah. For gore... I mean...
Wasn't really any.
There wasn't any.
No. which again is surprising given what I thought I was going
Yeah.
to see. So I guess a 0.
Yeah, it's a
Just
0.
isn't any.
There isn't any. It's
Yeah.
not a gory movie. Okay, might be a bit of debate here, because what do you think for the overall creativity?
I think it is really good. I think again, the depth of it and the story arc and stuff like that, it is actually really creative, considering the genre that it's in.
Yeah, but this is also like 4th generation rip-off at this point.
Yeah.
We've had like Ilsa, Night Porter, Sarlo. This is like, and then I'm sure there are many other Nazi exploitation movies. that
Oh,
were-
absolutely, yeah.
Like, so for like in terms of like, I think they did some stuff with it I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
Maybe I thought the mood was okay, but I think that's all I have to give it for the creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go 5 or 4, definitely. I think I'm going to go 3.
I'm gonna go
Because
with
it is something that I hadn't seen before.
yeah. I'm gonna give it a 2.
I liked it. I was very pleasantly surprised with where it went.
Yeah, it's reprehensible, but it was like.
But there's odd little bits of creativity as well that I thought were really good, like the hanging people above the lie, stuff like that. That was quite groovy.
Yeah, I guess it was.
I mean, the main reason why I'm marking it down is, well, 2 reasons. A, yes, we have seen worse versions of this, and by worse I mean kind of more graphic and more just fucking disgusting and reprehensible, and some of it is very, very predictable.
Yeah,
So that's why I think I'm going to go straight up the line with 3.
yeah, I think that's fine. That's fair. Okay, for sense, I guess it's.
Yeah.
Is it a 5? Is it a rare 5? I mean, there's nothing we can't really.
I don't think there's anything.
I mean, was there anything out of place that didn't make any sense?
The bit that I would question is, as I commented, they were a snidey bunch of pricks with the fucking Nazis.
Yeah.
And I don't think any lasting romantic entanglement wouldn't have been snitched upon
Immediately.
immediately. There was a lot of that from what I've read. Even to the point of some people were lied about in that exact way. I think it was Rome, General Rome, I think it was.
Oh, okay. So they just
They were trying to
wouldn't-
sideline it, and they just like went like, "Oh yeah, he's got a Jewish girlfriend. Fuck him."
It simply wouldn't.
It would not have been tolerated in the slightest. They viewed them as the not even fucking humans,
Yeah.
so as animals. So if there was any kind of emotional entanglement,
Okay,
that
I
would have
think
been
that
snitched
I
upon
think
straight
that
away.
loses a point.
As I understand it, I wasn't there. I don't know for definite, but as I understand it, it wouldn't. Especially like the kid and stuff like that. Like if they'd found out she was pregnant with his kid, no fucking way that kid lives.
I mean, because there
for
was a
start.
scene earlier on where there was clearly a pregnant woman burned in an oven.
in the tunnels, yeah. But we don't know who made her pregnant.
No, but presumably she was.
She may have been taken to the camp pregnant.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I just assumed it was about her usefulness as a sex
Well,
slave.
Yeah. Well, and also if she's reproducing a Jewish child, they wouldn't have been into that.
Yeah, Nazis are fucking awful.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know why
Are you
you
just
guys
figuring
are.
this out?
I don't know why you guys are online are always like, going, wow, it's like that sounds stupid to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 4. The rest of it makes sense, but there's just a couple of historically factual bits that don't play for me.
The only thing I had a major question mark over was really the relationship. No, I guess that made sense. It was the relationship between Alma, the dominant SS lady, and Hans. Like,
Right.
there's a scene where basically she's like humiliating him for being aroused.
She's his superior. She's exerting dominance at that point.
Yeah, and I was thinking, oh, that's like, I thought he was in charge.
Yeah, no, she was above him.
Oh, okay, then it's fine. I think it's
Yeah.
got to be a 4 then.
Yeah.
4 from me too.
And especially, and again, as I've read, the women generally, once they got into a position of power, were way fucking worse than the dudes. Because they had to go that extra mile to prove that they were, as savage and shit.
Wow, that's such a fucked up way of thinking.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck Nazis. What would you give for the music?
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it was pretty good.
great.
Yeah, I
Loved
thought it was pretty good.
Love song from Lisa. That was awesome. There's some music at the start that I was super into. It's just
It
like
was
really
really-
old-timey European.
But yeah, it was like proper mood. Like this was like proper melancholic old world mood.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was good.
Yeah, it suited it absolutely
Maybe not
perfectly.
so original, I guess. I don't know how much was written for the film and how much was.
I'm going to assume Love Song from Lethal Wolf.
Yeah. But
But yeah, no, like you say, it created a mood.
I might go as high as a 4 even.
I think I would go 4.
Yeah? Alright. Oh my god, this is going to rate quite high, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's another one of these films that I really enjoyed watching. I'm not sure I would ever watch it again unless I was recommending it and was around somebody's house and they were just like, have you seen this? I'd be like, yeah, I'd be into watching that again.
Okay, and on our scale, a 27 out of 50.
Yeah.
Above average.
Above average, yeah.
Not a masterpiece,
No.
but above average.
Yeah.
Steve, would you recommend this movie?
To the right people, yeah, I think I would. To the kind of people that watch, like your Salos and your Ilsas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, it's not as bad as those, but it's. I didn't not enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I just feel, I guess, like, enjoy is such a strange word.
Again, it's not something that Again, it's not something that if I was sat on my own of a Saturday afternoon, like, oh, I want to watch a movie. This would not even come onto the radar. But if I was around somebody's house and we were watching these kind of films and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh, I got this. I haven't watched it yet. What do you reckon?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'd watch that."
Oh yeah, just do that. It's sort of, I don't know.
But it would be recommended to the kind of people that watch these kind of films, that kind of thing.
If someone was gonna do an all-day event of like really weird European exploitation movies, and they said, "Oh, I want to include a Nazi exploitation movie, but we can't do Salo," then I would say, "Oh, do Gestapo's Last Orgy."
Yeah,
but that's pretty much the only time I would recommend it.
No,
I
think I would still go
it.
Ilsa over this.
So you would recommend it
less than Ilsa.
Okay,
but
you would recommend
but if that person
to the right person.
Yeah. If that person had already seen Solo and Ilsa and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, I got this. Should we watch it?" I'd be like, "Yeah, cool."
Yeah, I don't think I would recommend it.
Really?
So that's a no from me.
Not even to the kind of people that would watch this kind of thing.
No, I don't think I can because
why? If they've already watched a Solo or an Ilsa or something
because
like that.
I think I feel like there's too much stuff in it that maybe shouldn't be encouraged.
I don't think you're encouraging somebody if you're just saying watch a film.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say.
That's like saying, "Oh, you should watch Captain America and wear tights." Just because you watch the film, you're not going to go out and start being a fucking superhero.
No,
because you watch this, you're not going to go out and be like, right, let's get a bunch of women together and...
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about people who fetishize this shit.
Mm.
Yeah, if you fetishize this shit, then it's definitely the movie for you. For anyone else, then no, I don't recommend this movie.
To be clear, I'm not recommending it to people who fetishize this shit. I'm recommending it to people who watch these kind of movies.
Okay.
Not just the Nazi exploitation movies, just the kind of video nasty type movies, old school.
Yeah, who people haven't seen.
Kind of gnarly horror stuff.
Yeah, but also I think like in terms of like how fucked up it wasn't far enough for me to recommend it to those people.
Okay, I see.
Like I don't want to describe this movie as tame. Because it's not.
No, but in comparison...
I
completely understand where you're coming from with that. In comparison to your Ilsas and your Salas and stuff like that, yes, this is tame as all shit. Apart from like the first 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It's just kind of... oh, it's not that at all. There are some pretty grim bits all the way through it.
Yeah, but it's not as... But grim.
It's not, it's not fucking things getting ripped out of people or...
Yeah. I mean, even The Beast in Heat was like...
Yeah. The Beast in Heat was more graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then it wasn't that graphic.
No.
So, yeah. That's the Gestapo's Last Orgy.
Yeah, I would recommend it as an actual movie. It was more of an actual movie than Beast in the Heat.
Yeah, it is more of an actual...
Beast in the Heat is more just kind of... kind of thing, whereas this was kind of... It had some...
Which brings up another thing. Could you remake this kind of movie today?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's some food for thought.
I don't think you were... Well, you wouldn't get distribution for a start.
I don't know about that.
Well, you get very underground.
I don't know about that. Like the core story, I reckon you probably could. But I feel like without the kind of... I mean, why... This is the problem with it. It's like the core story is fine. It's a normal... It's like... I think you could make that story time and time again and don't think people would necessarily have a problem with it. Right. They would go, oh, it asks lots of questions about...
Do you think it's just the Nazi element?
No, not the Nazi element. It's the exploitation element that I think would be the problem. But unfortunately... These movies are appealing to are not necessarily the people who want to see this dramatic story. They're the people who want to see the violence against women.
Yeah,
and
true.
specifically the Nazis perform violence against women.
And if you are gonna watch a film like that, you are gonna watch a Solo, you are gonna watch Mills or something like that. That's more sadistic.
Yeah, but also like Salo is like more damning of the regime. Than Gestapo's Last Orgy.
Yeah,
Gestapo's
it just so happens the bad guys are Nazis.
Yeah, but it doesn't like. I mean, it hints at like going, one day this will all be over and all these terrible crimes will be documented. Or like going, we're Nazis.
Yeah,
We're never gonna die. And it's like, okay, but that isn't the same as saying the Nazis are literally stealing and raping your children.
Yeah.
This is like Salo works much better as like not satire. Salo works much better as like a damning criticism of Nazi philosophy than this does. This is just like, I can imagine that some Nazis.
Well, I mean, Salo was written much closer to the time as well, wasn't it? So
no, it was a couple of years before this.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like this is not. While I don't need a movie to preach at me.
This didn't preach at all, particularly. Yeah,
this is definitely way more matter of fact. But I think that's not necessarily the problem of the politics of the filmmakers. I think it's more because they weren't really interested in that element. They were just interested in this dramatic story.
Yeah. This was more the Nazis just happened to be the bad guys.
Yeah,
as opposed to like you could take the Nazi element out and just put in any kind of.
Like it could be
horrible people.
Could be the wanted. Empire.
It could
be a Star Wars story. Like Gestapo's Last Orgy, a Star Wars story.
Fuck you.
But I heard you need ideas now. What's her name? The lady in charge?
I know. Yeah, I don't want to say it.
Catherine Bigelow. No,
it's Kathleen Kennedy. But I love Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying she needs ideas. And
she doesn't. They've already got fucking tons of ideas. The next trilogy's already fucking sorted.
Well, they need this idea.
Old Republic.
Yeah, you need to do this one. It's about the
No, you don't.
It's about the Empire. It's Gestapo's Last Orgy, but it's about Star Wars.
Don't listen to Tony. Isn't that all the Star Wars films? You just changed the badges on the hats. That's all the Empire was.
Yeah, I'm saying it's Star Wars, but Gestapo's Last Star Wars. Gestapo's Star Wars Last Orgy.
This has gone off the rails.
No, it's gone on the rails.
No,
now
it hasn't.
Cooking.
No, it's gone.
Now we're going somewhere.
This is on the Funhouse rails.
Okay.
That's how bad this has gone.
It was about to turn into a good episode, and you just ruined it, Steve. Well done. Slow clap.
Good. Glad.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.